Welcome to another session of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. When we last left our brave investigators, we unfortunately had a little bit of a split in the party. Of course, I'm sure that'll be fine. Splitting the party always goes well. Julian had been sent off into the mist on an exploratory expedition, and had gotten just far enough that he was slightly hard to see when he vanished. He wound up at the orchard, but unfortunately, Sofie and Dr. Jensen didn't know that. They proceeded on to the strange outbuilding where they had a steamy encounter. Nothing too lascivious, though. I mean, it's actually steaming. Inside, it turned out to be a sauna. The door slammed shut, and water began leaking out from the ceiling and pouring down onto the hot coals that suddenly began to fill the room with steam and uncomfortable heat. Will they be able to survive? Well, we're about to find out. All right, I am very excited to share with you all our greatest villain of the series. Please direct your eyes to roll 20 for the Dread Sauna.
No!
I put in an actual token called the Dread Sauna.
That was a Disney film, wasn't it?
I think it came out right after the Black Cauldron.
My nemesis.
All right, so the way that this is going to work as you're attempting to survive inside of the Dread Sauna and get out. Good news, Sofie has successfully found 2 of the things that she's been looking for.
If only I could make it out of here alive.
Well, yes. That is the goal now.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a mosaic piece that is needed to open the Great Library. The second is a steel knife in the boot of a corpse. However, speaking of that making out of here alive, the way this will work is we've got initiative cards. Whether you like it or not, you're getting into a combat scenario with the Dread Sauna.
Boy, sucks for you. What would that be like? Steamy.
It's true, 100%. And you've also got Father Xavier Duffy, who will absolutely be helpful in this encounter. Probably. Alright, so first up in initiative is, unfortunately for you, the Dread Sauna.
Fucking hell.
Yep, it's rough times. Also, important note, Aryn, because Sofie had run across the room to go investigate that stuff, that is going to take up her first turn. You will still get a fast action, but that will have used your slow action. At the start of every combat, do y'all want to shift your initiatives around? Kind of think not, since you're on an 8, 9, and 10. Those sighs and shaking heads tell me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, no.
So, the way this will work is on the sauna's turn every initiative round, you will need to make a force test. The longer that you are in here, the harder it will become.
Okay.
If only Dr. Muscles was here.
Mm-hmm.
Yippee.
Okay, well, on 6 dice, I have 1 success.
And that is no successes on 4 dice.
Okay.
Fuck that sauna.
Sofie, you will take 1 physical condition.
Great.
Bill, you avoid taking any physical conditions.
For now.
For now. Give it time. All right.
Sofie is wounded.
So Sophie's having a little bit of trouble breathing in here as this hot, humid, foul-smelling air fills the place.
Oh, it's like corpse steam, too.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Audience, you can't see the face that Aryn just made, but it was amazing.
It's the face that you make when you smell corpse steam. I mean, I'm just role-playing here.
Yep. So, speaking of, what is Sofie going to do? She has used her slow action, kind of getting these items. You can try and move around. You can get closer to the door.
Is it free to talk?
Always.
Okay. So I am going to ask Dr. Jensen to try to bust the door open because Though I carry considerable weight, it is not, the center of gravity is not really appropriate for busting down a door. It's more appropriate for like sinking in the ocean or something. So I am going to go up to the door, but like beside it and not in between.
Yep.
And I'll just try to start looking for a way to maybe pry it open with the steel knife if we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, and Bill, what is Dr. Jensen going to do?
All right, so a few questions real quick. First, for Aryn, did you pick up and hold on to the jacket, or is it still over next to the corpse?
Is there still a jacket?
I think you left it next to the corpse because it was covered in mushrooms and was gross.
Yeah. I don't think I would have.
Okay. A question for you, Brian. The moldy window, is it roughly as big as your little icon here, or how big is the window?
I am so glad you asked about that. You go to search for the window, it's gone. Bill, could I get a fear test from you?
Oh, man. Piling it on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there goes my plan of busting out the window. Forget the door.
Yup.
You got this, Bill.
Oh, boy.
And remember, you can use logic, and Sofie is close to you, so you get a +1 bonus from her.
Oh, boy. Well, out of 4 dice, I have 1 success.
All right. Dr. Jensen kind of braces himself. Clearly, there must be some explanation. He doesn't know what it is, but there is not time to worry about that now.
So it's just kind of moldy cedar plant paneling and then a door.
Yep.
Ugh, gross.
You know there was a window there. It's not there anymore. But you just put that to the back of your mind, and you'll worry about and process that trauma later.
Okay, before I dislocate my shoulder,
That's what this game is all about. Process that trauma later. It's like real life.
I'm going to do the potentially really stupid or really funny thing. Is the door locked?
It absolutely is stuck shut.
Okay.
Oh, nice try, though.
Now, interestingly, Bill, you do note there's not a lock on it. But you try to open it, and it's just, like, stuck fast.
And the door from inside the sauna opens into the sauna or out of the sauna?
Into the sauna.
All right, I'm going to try and pull the door. Again, I don't want this to be the Far Side comic. I want to make sure I'm pulling the right way.
Yep. Nope, you're pulling the right way. So make a force test.
All right.
Now, it is stuck very fast. Supernaturally so, some might say. But Dr. Punchfist has got this, right?
It's more that I'm worried that a uncomfortably hot Sofie is going to become a violent Sofie. So,
What are the odds?
When has Sofie ever become violent? Don't answer that.
I was about to.
well, out of 6 dice, 2 success.
Okay.
Come on, Brian.
Bill, would you like to push that roll?
Motherfucker.
Oh, man.
Do you have conditions already?
I do not.
Okay.
So, I'm going to give it a shot. I have a feeling it's a supernaturally locked door.
So you'll roll at -2 what your standard pool is, because you did get 2 successes.
Okay. 4 dice, no successes.
Now, has Dr. Jensen used his advantage during this mystery?
Oh, no, that's true. I have not used Smoldering Fury. I have not.
This might be a time for some smoldering fury.
Let's see if you can outsmolder the sauna.
I don't know if it's smoldering now. It's just sticky fury here.
Oh, no, we don't want that here.
All right, so still 4 dice.
So technically you could have applied it to the first roll, and it would have just been +2 dice, and you wouldn't have needed to push it. But if those don't come up a success, you can roll 2 more.
Okay. Huh?
Woo!
Well, so on those extra 2 dice, I got 1 extra success.
All right, and that is just enough.
Yes!
So Dr. Jensen grabs a hold of this handle, tries to pull it open after checking if it's locked. Doesn't work, and just heaves on this thing. And at first, it doesn't budge at all. But you start to dig in your heels, walking backwards. You can hear a groan coming from the wood. And slowly, inch by inch, this door gets pulled open. Bill, you can almost feel it fighting you, resisting, trying to slam closed and keep you both in here.
The one instance in a TTRPG where the door is actually the enemy.
Correct. This one time, the door is actually fighting back. So, Bill, we'll kind of fudge that a little bit. You don't need to use a condition on that, because you would have been able to add those 2 dice on the first roll. So, no condition gained.
Thank you, kind GM.
Unless you really want one, I'm fine with that.
I'm already too deep on mental conditions. I'm gonna stay.
You're too deep so far. Don't worry, I've got more stuff for you. So Dr. Jensen is like grunting and heaving and pulling this door open. Father Duffy steps forward and grabs Sophie's hands and pulls her out, and then grabs a hold of Dr. J and pulls him. And the door slams shut behind you. And you see there's just a little waft of steam coming out from the bottom of the room, bottom of that door. What the fuck just happened? In the name of sweet Jesus, the door just suddenly slammed shut.
Yeah, one second. He'll reach into his jacket and pull out his flask and take a nip. Did anyone else notice the window disappear? Do I see the window on the building from outside?
Oh yeah, no, it's still there on the outside.
So he'll point at
You want
that.
to go back in and check?
No, I'm good. From outside, Dr. Just will point at the window. Did anyone else notice that disappeared on the inside?
I did. And, Dr. Jensen, might I just say that I am fucking done with this place. I've had it. As our priestly friend here so aptly put it, what the fuck? Sophie's angry, by the way, as well as wounded. She's essentially starting to get like, not like hives, but like, she's like really flushed and like, itchy and yeah.
Would you describe her as steaming mad?
Yes.
Excellent.
And worse.
As the 3 of you are standing there, the door creaks and slowly slides open. And there's no steam inside.
No.
Do any of us have a lighter? I really want to burn this place down.
Well, you have a lantern, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't want to it would be so cathartic for me to just throw the lantern at the building and bust it and have everything catch fire. Like, I cannot explain.
Sophie just yelling, "Get fucked, sawdust!" Bam!
Pretty much. But I'm not gonna.
Less that per se.
I know.
You obviously also have books on you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. What is the insinuation here?
That you have paper and you have a lantern that has a flame.
Sophie just like takes a deep breath. You know what? You're right, Dr. Jensen. There could be a book with a blank page that we could roll up to create something to set aflame.
Why do I feel a ton of malice in that statement?
No, I am retaining control. Where is Yortz?
Yortz is in your pocket.
Was he in there with me?
He was.
Oh, buddy.
He looks very sodden.
Oh.
He's a soggy, unhappy boy.
I take him out and try to, like, shake him a little dry or something. just like, dust him off.
He looks like a very unhappy cat.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. I'm sorry.
Bill, I have concerns about how you dry a cat.
Yeah.
She said she shook him dry.
I'm not, like, deadly baby shaking him. I'm just, like, jostling him a little bit to
That's
get
not
the...
shaking.
Dear listener, you couldn't see it, but Bill was making a shaking like he's trying to get the last of the ketchup out of a bottle.
It's not true. I was shaking like I was trying to mix up paint.
Or that.
Oh, well,
or
in
that.
that case. All right, well, good news. You have successfully overcome the dread sauna. The other option was you could have attacked the door.
I was gonna stab it, so...
I thought you were going to shoot it.
Oh, that would have been a good idea, too.
I had options for all these.
I should have just shot it, yeah.
I legitimately thought you were going to shoot it.
All right, so the three of you have successfully overcome the dread sauna, and we will cut over to Julian Benavides.
I was gonna say, let me just retcon for 2 seconds because I want to... Shut up, Phoenix. This is for you. All right.
Jesus, the
we got out of
hostility
there.
tonight, Sophie.
I mean, she does have the angry
Your
condition.
books got wet, didn't they?
I don't want to talk about it. I was just gonna say, whatever happened, we got out. We have to go and find Julian because that's what we came out here for in the first place, and now we've lost precious time. I don't know what's happened to him.
So, yeah, no, we cut back to Julian, and I am passing a bottle of fine wine back and forth with this lovely woman as I read through this journal, laughing my ass off.
Marvelous, marvelous. Now, Phoenix, remind me, did I show you the contents of the journal last time?
You did not. I'm just assuming that it's very amusing.
You might think so. That should have just appeared on your screen now.
It did. Okay. Would you like me to read? Oh, there's a lot here.
I will leave that to you if you want to read either the entirety of it or read select entries.
Oh, pardon you. I'm sorry. You did show this to me. Yeah, I recognize this. Hmm?
Okay, I couldn't remember if I did.
Me. So, yes, I have a journal here. May 15th, 1858. There's something wrong with this place. I can't find Inga, and I'm hearing voices in this damn mist. That Swede Eriksson told me not to come here, but I didn't know it would be like this. I'd all but given up hope of seeing Inga again until I got that damned letter. This whole thing feels mad now. 2 days later, May 17th. Shit, I can't seem to get out. I've wandered through the mists for days. Won't be doing that again, not after those sounds and that screaming. Damn it, I hope Sofie is okay. A week later, May 24th. I saw her today, for just a moment before she disappeared into the mist. I feel as though I'm losing my mind. June? 1858? Losing track of the days. That little man Aryn keeps hinting that he knows things. He keeps claiming that the farm's master will be back any day now, but surely not. I heard him say something about the cellars, but this damned farm doesn't have a cellar, does it? Pried a piece of that damnable door from the second floor of the farmhouse out. We'll see if he's so smug now that it's gone. June? July? 1858? Fuck, need food. Snuck into the farmhouse, grabbed bread and meats. Heard Aryn, so jumped out the window. Fell into one of those little ponds and twisted my ankle. There's a damn metal door under the puddle. Hidden barn. Woke up in the morning and food was just gone, vanished. So hungry. This was a mistake. 1858. Don't go near the water. Question marks? I think this is some kind of bathhouse. Maybe I can rest here and clear my head. The ink of the pen scratches out, smearing off the edge of the page.
Yeah, I don't know if Julian's laughing so much at that, unless he's been sharing the cocoa line back and forth.
I didn't read the preface that came before it, where he was just talking about all of the misadventures that he got up to before May 15th, 1858, clearly.
Those ones were funnier.
Those ones were funnier.
There were stories about Sofie misbehaving that were really, really hilarious.
Okay. Oh, the body in the sauna.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sofie doesn't know that yet, so.
Looking through here, though, I do see certainly the mention of the metal door in the little pond and the puddle. So file that away as good to know.
You may have also picked up on as a player why I told you to mark that food with an exclamation point in front of it.
Oh, I actually hadn't thought about that.
And we haven't slept and woke up since then.
Nope.
So we don't know yet that it's going to disappear.
Well, you also threw it all away thinking it was filled with arsenic.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It's fine. I still have my vial of saffron in the field kitchen.
In that case, I gotta up the cost of your field kitchen. So Julian has spent a little bit of time resting, chatting with Olga, who is a big fan of his playing. The pair of you kind of share a bottle of wine back and forth as you read through this journal. Is Julian currently suffering from any conditions?
Oh, yeah.
You may gain the benefits of the rest action.
Nice.
Which heals 1?
I believe resting heals 2, but let me
Ooh.
double check. In this game we've been playing for like 2 years.
I think it heals 2.
I think it heals 2.
But because I'm pretty, it heals 3.
Hey, did Dr. J and Sofie get a rest since they sat in the sauna for a little while?
Nope. For some reason, it wasn't restful. You can go back in, though, if you want to try.
Brian, respectfully, I'll kill you.
Respectfully, you live far away. Yeah, Phoenix, you can recover up to 2 conditions.
Outstanding. Yes, I was at 3 mental conditions, so that is great news. I am no longer...
No worry, I'll put on more.
No longer angry being, in the company of fans. Not even frightened. That might be due to the wine. Still a little hopeless. Hopeless romantic, that is.
Ayo.
It's true.
You realize he's only doing this so that he can give you more conditions.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's fine. I'm going to be fine.
That's correct.
Everything's fine.
So having spent a little bit of downtime here, what is Julian going to do next? You haven't heard anything from your friends. They don't seem to be able to find you out here. But the good news is this field that you're in, this actually feels a little bit nicer than everywhere else that you've been. As far as this farm, this is the first place that hasn't had that kind of oppressive air since you walked through that line of crosses.
Huh. Well, Brian, I said that I was going to try to, embrace and kind of roll with. I mean, you're telling me this, and now it's making me just want to hang out here on a picnic with Olga.
I mean, you can do that. It's just, it may be a while before there's anything for Julian to do. You guys come back. There's just a little sign in the tent that says, if this tent's a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
Yeah. So taking a look around, can I see any sort of buildings? Do I have any sense of, where the hell am I? I know I was going towards the orchard, and that did not pan out well. But do I have any sense of direction here?
Just barely. Looking into the fog, you can kind of get a sense that there's some buildings in one direction. And if you chat with Olga about it, she will say anytime you wander out into the mist, you'll wind up back at the farmhouse if you just head in a direction.
I nod. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Olga, it might be safer if the two of us were to stick together. I do have 2 colleagues here with me. You've been here obviously longer than I have. If you were to try to, if you were looking for friends, do you think it's safer for us to stay here? Should we just wander out into the mist to end up back at the farmhouse?
I will not be leaving here. But if you want to try and find your friends, you are welcome to try and walk in that direction. You are the only person I've seen here.
Ew.
I don't think that they will necessarily go in this direction.
Very well. You're sure you don't? If it's been so long and I'm the first person you've seen, Hate to leave a fan behind, of all people. I mean, you've already shown exquisite taste.
And she kind of shivers a little bit. I don't want to walk through that mist anymore, Julian. I have heard things out in it. Seen things. No, I will stay here.
Okay. Well, I respect your decision. Hopefully I'm able to meet back up with them. If I'm able to, I will look for you. Or if you want to try meeting back at the farmhouse in another day.
I will consider it, beautiful man. But I think I will wait here.
Very well. I will give her 2 kisses on either cheek and head off in a direction.
She kind of gives a demure little wave, and then you just quietly hear, maybe I should have kept him.
I think I will have the pistol in hand as I am traipsing through the mists here.
All right.
Of this land that is in no way reminiscent of a Barovian.
Cough, cough, Barovia.
Yeah.
I literally put ravens in a loft. I don't know what you're implying.
I know.
All right, now, Phoenix.
Brian.
As you wander through the mist, normally I would have your party roll a D66, and the random encounter would target the one of you who rolled lowest. But we're going to skip that step because there's only you. This might be good that you didn't bring Olga along. Can I get a D6 from you?
Uh-huh.
I hope you rolled a 6.
3.
That's not a 6.
That's not a 6. Would you like me to roll again?
Nah, you're good. As Julian is traveling through the mist, he begins to hear a heavy breathing from somewhere out in the fog.
Wasn't that giant spider... Well, wasn't something heavy breathing in the orchard before?
I think Bill just got a little too close to his mic.
Oh, okay.
Rude. Phoenix.
Brian.
How does Julian respond as he hears this, heavy breathing happening?
I will try to be silent as I can, and I will hold my pistol at the ready.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to shoot my way out of here. It worked real well with spiders.
A shape starts to move, and you see a dappled gray and white horse.
OMG.
It kind of walks towards you, and you notice its back leg is dragging a little bit behind it, like it's hurt. And it kind of chuffs a little bit and shakes its head. What does Julian do?
Julian reads through the game notes channel of Discord to remember what he needs to remember about horses here.
Oh man, if Julian had Discord this whole time, he could have just been messaging Sofie and Dr. Jensen.
Well, looking through... Sorry, so it's a large gray horse, and you said one of its legs was wounded?
It's dragging its back left leg behind it. And it takes a couple more steps towards you and kind of chuffs out another breath. And it goes to, lightly nuzzle one of Julian's hands if he lets it get close enough.
I'm not going to shoot it, but I'm not going to let it get close. I am going to, without turning my back, I'm not just going to turn the other direction and run, but I'm going to move kind of perpendicular away as it tries to approach.
Okay.
I'll kind of put out one hand just in front of me and yeah, just try to keep my distance if I'm able.
Mm-hmm. As you kind of back up like that, it slowly stops moving, and with a little bit of effort, it kind of kneels itself down on the ground. So it's at a low height.
As if inviting me to climb on its back?
Mm-hmm.
So, if I see it kind of with that demeanor, I mutter under my breath, Sofie, I am placing my trust in you. Better not have messed this up. I will actually go ahead and... Oh, I see. Okay. Very well. I accept. And if it will let me, I will actually try to approach and see if it'll let me climb onto its back.
Okay. When you do, the horse kneels the front legs down.
Good horse. Good horse. And I will climb on the back. And as soon as it gets up, like if I feel a single step, I'm just going to lean forward. Cross of Christ.
So, this is another time to get the old initiative cards out.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Because as soon as you are on its back, it starts to stand up and it begins to cackle. Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
Julian comes in with a plan.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing.
Thinks he does.
He is sure Sofie has told him if he just says, Cross of Christ, the Brook Horse will disappear.
That is the idea.
Yep, he's ready.
Mm-hmm.
What he's not ready for is the speed. There is a quarter of a second where he feels the horse's muscles tense under him. And then you are moving. You are flying over the ground. You see the farmhouse race past you. You see the mist swirling about. You see the farmhouse race past you. You see the mist swirling about. The farmhouse races past you again. Can I get a fear test from you as this horse is laughing maniacally and cackling?
This is an empathy test?
This is an empathy or logic test.
So it's an empathy test?
For you, yes.
And, and mental conditions would still apply to that, yes?
Yes, they would.
Well, that is less awesome. So that is going to be 4 dice then. That is 1 success on 4 dice.
Would you like to push that roll?
I just got my conditions back, Brian.
I didn't make you ride the horse.
Well, yes, I will go ahead and push that roll, and I will, shockingly, become frightened.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 0 additional successes.
All right. Julian is going to become terrified. You will gain 1 mental condition, because this had a fear value of 2.
Okay, so I am back to 3.
Yep. And you may choose to become terrified and either fight, freeze, faint, or the other one, flee.
Oh, I was going to say fuck shit up.
Flee isn't going to work very well right now because your legs are stuck to the horse.
Mm-hmm. Not that I'm expecting it's going to do a whole lot of good, but I'm going to try to fight.
Okay.
Mostly trying to fight to hold on and keep my grip, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, the good news is you still have some measure of faculties.
Mm-hmm.
So can I get a force roll from you?
Force I can do. Wow. Not today. That's 0 success on 7 dice.
All right. You are racing at such high speeds, you can't get the words out.
Suboptimal.
How does Julian attack this horse?
Squeeze it to death with your manly thighs, Matthew Thighs.
I mean, if I'm able, I doubt this is going to work, but if I'm able, I'm going to shoot it in the head.
Try it.
Okay, so just range combat roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's better. That's 3 success on 8 dice.
Okay.
I don't know what bullets are going to do to this thing, but I guess I'm about to find out.
You put the gun directly to the back of the horse's head. It is running, it is bucking, but you manage to line up your shot. The pistol explodes, and seaweed and pond water come pouring out of the back of this thing's head, but it's still running.
Shit.
And worse, it is running straight for the water now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Phoenix, can I get one more force test from you?
One more force test. Okay. 0 success on 7 dice.
Do you want to push that roll?
Crap.
I guess, yeah. That's definitely does not seem like something I want to just let happen. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and push that roll. I had a plan.
Had a plan.
Okay, 2 success on 7 dice.
All right. That is just enough. As the horse is racing, you see the mists beginning to part, and you see the pond stretching out. This weedy, disgusting-looking water. And you can tell it means to drown you. And as you are racing, the speed is picking up, the wind is whipping about you. You manage to just barely catch your breath enough to speak a few words. What do you say?
I say, ah! And also, Cross of Christ.
Excellent. The first one doesn't help any.
No.
The second one does. The horse vanishes from beneath you, and you go crashing to the ground, rolling through the mud, the muck, crashing into the weeds, but managing to stop short of winding up in the water.
Well, at least Olga didn't see that.
The mist kind of slowly forms back around where it had created this tunnel from how fast the horse was racing. And you see there is a footpath that leads back up towards the farmhouse.
I am battered after that experience there.
Mm-hmm.
I will stand up, brush myself off. It doesn't help. I'm gonna need to spend some serious coin at the tailor if this is gonna get fixed. But I will, just try to take a moment, catch my breath. Well, it kind of worked. And I guess I will make my way towards the farmhouse, but I am not going to be going in.
Okay. Cutting over to Aryn and Bill, the three of you, including Father Xavier, have managed to escape the dreaded sauna. What are you going to do now?
I was gonna say, was it us that was watching that one bird fly over and over again in a loop?
Yep, you saw a loon fly past you multiple times.
Okay, so as we are trying to figure out which way we should go to try to find Julian, I'll just look at Dr. Jensen, and if every time that we entered the fog, we ended up back at the farmhouse, and the same with that bird, might it then follow that the three of us, well, the four of us, would end up back at the farmhouse again if we... It might be that we could all regroup there, and that Julian may be there already. Or do you think we should go further in the direction we think he took?
Dr. Jensen will kind of look around. Are we able to kind of get an orientation of where any of their nearby buildings are from where we are right now?
Not easily. You can get a sense on kind of where the farmhouse is, but even then, everything is kind of shifting through this mist. You'll need to definitely kind of wander through it for a little bit.
So he'll kind of, after looking around, we'll turn back to Sofie. And, well, I kind of feel like, regardless of our choice, we're more than likely going to end up back at the farmhouse. We don't know where Julian went. He just disappeared from the end of the rope. So, we can only kind of pray that he's still alive somewhere. I mean, we don't know where he ended up, and if, God forbid, he ended up in a trap like we just ended up in. So, I think the farmhouse is probably the best bet if we're going to find him. I mean, he'll kind of gesture around to the mists around us, like kind of all roads and tend to lead there.
Exactly.
You might as well head back.
There's almost no way we can look for him in these conditions.
Not without blind luck. I think we'd just be stumbling around and probably ending up back at the farmhouse anyway. So I think that's probably a good place to at least try and regroup. And if Julian's still wandering somewhere, he'll more than likely end up back there at some point. So.
All right, then let's head back.
All right.
Oh,
yeah.
I think, yeah. So if we're going to head back, Dr. Jensen will just kind of keep an eye out for any extra, if we pass by any odd building, just to check to see inside, not to go inside, but just to make sure like no one's locked in like we were in the sauna.
Yep. Sounds good. Can I get a D66 roll from each of you?
I mean, I guess.
Just the two of them, correct?
Correct. Well, not quite. By correct, I mean Father Xavier Duffy also gets to roll.
Wah, wah.
Ruh-roh.
Bill, as our lowest scoring person with the roll, could you roll me a D6, please?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh, try a 3.
I tried. I got a 5.
That's not good.
God damn it. We just
I
got
don't
out
like
of
that
there.
smile you're giving us, Brian. How hard you're trying to hold back your joy is
I know. It's
concerning.
disconcerting, right? Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
2 horses now.
I would never. So, Bill, as Dr. Jensen is kind of moving through this mist, it's becoming heavier. And it's almost starting to feel kind of stifling to him. His heavy wool coat is sopping wet and damp. And the air begins to kind of hurt his lungs a little bit, causing him to cough and causing him to sputter. And then after a moment, Dr. Jensen isn't there any longer. Sofie, you heard Dr. Jensen coughing behind you?
No,
You turned back? He's gone.
Okay.
Now, Bill, I have some good news and some bad news.
What's the bad news?
You don't want the good news first?
Nope.
Okay. You're in the dark.
Sounds about right.
And the good news? You're not at the orchard with the scary spiders.
Am I back in the sauna?
Nope. You're completely underwater.
What the
Can I get a vigilance test from you?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Because you are currently at the bottom of the lake and drowning.
So do I have any additional modifiers?
Nope.
Okay.
Just a vigilance.
Yeah, well, we're fantastic.
Damn, Bill.
Sweet Jesus.
Okay, well, on 5 dice, I got 2 successes.
Okay. So, that is actually exactly what you needed.
Oh, thank God.
This is disorienting. This is confusing. But Dr. Jensen is able to spot just a little flicker of silver in one direction and realizes that has to be up. And so he's able to orient himself underwater and begins swimming and struggling upwards. Can I get a force test from you?
Dude, this is a fucking episode.
Mm-hmm.
Farkle.
You spent all your good rolls on knowing where you were.
Out of 6 dice, 0 successes. Yes, I want to push this roll.
Well, I would actually say don't worry about pushing this one.
Oh, okay.
So you were going to take one physical condition.
Okay.
However, you are close enough to the surface that you'll be able to get back up this round.
Okay.
Let me just check my drowning rules to make sure that works. Yep.
Yeah, you were just rolling a 3, but with less steps.
I feel like there are more steps.
Right? Right? You skipped the whole middleman.
So, Phoenix.
Brian.
Julian is making his way up the path when there's suddenly a splashing and sputtering back from the lake.
I get ready to shoot.
There is a terrifying lake monster which has just emerged, covered in algae and lake weeds.
Son of a bitch, the horse is back!
Splashing around and desperately flailing, trying to get breath.
I guess temporary was temporary than I thought. Oh, God.
Dr. Jensen, as you struggle to catch your breath, you see Julian pointing a gun at you.
Don't shoot! As I hold up what I'm assuming is muddy, algae-covered hands.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like old Greg.
Let me think here. I am angry. I am frightened. Okay, so if I'm frightened, I'm angry. But seeing that one, having witnessed firsthand Julian's ability to take someone down with a pistol at short range, I will, against my better judgment of learning with Sofie about needing to get out of the water, and I will stop where I am and holding my hands up, I'm going to try and just wipe away everything from my face just to try and just yell out, it's Lucius. It's Lucius Jensen. Just don't, for the love of God, don't shoot me.
A likely story. Tell me something only Dr. Lucius Jensen would know.
I have a bottle of cocoa wine for you back at the library.
Oh. Sorry about that, Dr. J.
Oh, thank Christ. And kind of as he bends down for a second, he'll realize he's in the water and then panic again. And splat like a mud skip on the shore, just flop himself onto the driest land he can quickly get to.
You have successfully escaped from the lake, battered, cold, and very damp, but alive. Your lung is kind of heaving and sore.
As you get out of the water, Julian is absolutely not going into the water.
Sorry, Phoenix.
And I am just looking at you, shaking my head. Horse got you too, huh?
Just taking in some deep breaths of what is now probably the sweetest air he's had and that he can recall.
Julian, by the way, is covered head to toe in mud. Looks like he's worse for wear. Ridden hard and put away wet, if you will.
Lucius will look up. Horse? What? Where in the hells are we? Last I recall, I was just behind Sofie, and then I was underwater.
Well, you're here now. Here, come on, let's get you out of there.
As he gets up, he'll look at Julian. What happened to you? You said something about a horse? Not the. He'll kind of wave his hands in the air. With the Voss in here, then with the neck.
Yeah, that was the one. Sofie was right. If you say Cross of Christ, it goes away. Yep.
Good to know.
Everything went exactly according to plan.
He looks at you he gives you the most incredulous look, even covered in mud, of like bullshit.
I mean, Julian is also covered in mud, so
Things went mostly according to plan. That is, hey, I'm glad you're here. I think I know where the cellar is. Wait, where's Sofie?
who fucking knows?
I do.
Okay. Great to know about the cellar. Sofie, last I was with her, we were trying to head back to the farmhouse. Until just now, I used to think that any path in the mist would lead back to the farmhouse. Apparently, he'll just gesture back to the lake. That's a lie. We should go back. He'll just get up, just shake off, and just... God, warm fire and a drink.
All right, so the pair of you head back up the path towards the farmhouse.
That would be my intention, unless Julian wants to go somewhere else.
Going towards the farmhouse is fine, even with just the two of us here. I would tell you about, again, I think I know where the cellar is, and I would be trying to actually get us toward that pond/puddle near the farmhouse, rather than like to the front door.
Excellent. Julian and Dr. Jensen are kind of walking up this muddy footpath and don't see behind them a face looking out from the lake, watching them go. Her blonde hair streaming out behind her in the water. Sofie, you and Father Xavier emerge from the mist and see the farmhouse. Right as you see your two erstwhile companions walking up the path towards it. One of them looks like he has rolled from head to toe in mud. The other looks like someone tried to drown him. Neither looks particularly happy at the moment.
Sofie just stops at the edge of the mist. And, like, she's relieved, but also she just, like, pinches the bridge of her nose. And she's just like, whose idea was this to come here? And then she'll go and meet them. Fucking A.
As our investigators begin to gather together on the muddy path, they look towards the farmhouse, just barely visible in the mist. Within, they might find the answers to the questions that brought them here. Or perhaps only more mysteries. We'll find out which next time. Thank you for listening to this episode of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. Our theme song is Myths and Legends by Robert Bruckmeyer, which is playing right now. Our music is by Andreas Lundström, and you can hear more of his work on the Sweden Rolls podcast. Link in the show notes. Our editor is Hannah Cheney. If you're enjoying this show, please take 2 minutes to rate and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. I know every podcast says it, but it really does make a difference and helps us continue to grow the show. Finally, remember the motto of the library. Fear gives way to knowledge. Knowledge gives way to wisdom. And wisdom gives way to the truth. Until next time.